Okay, so today we will discuss about parameters, arguments, and arbitrary arguments, keyword arguments, etc. Right. So in the previous video, I think I have done some mistake in parameters and arguments. Let's clarify it. Right. So what are parameters and what are arguments? A parameter is the variable listed inside the parenthesis in the function definition, right? Function 1. Suppose what I can say, name, age, print name and age. Test 23. If you run it, you can see test and 23. What's happening? What is the number of arguments here? By default, a function must be called with the correct number of arguments. Meaning that if your function expects 2 arguments, you have to call the function with 2 arguments. Not more than that, not less than that. So, from the function perspective, a parameter is the variable listed inside the parenthesis in the function definition. This name and age are called what? Parameter, right? This name and age is nothing but called parameter because this value are passed from someone. Who is that someone? This function 1 and this function 1 are the same. But what's happening here? What is the difference? It is argument because the actual value that is passed in the function definition. An argument is that value that is sent to the function whenever it is called. So I am calling the function 1 with this test and 23. This is nothing but arguments. So how many arguments in this function are in this function? 2, name and age. Now if I do another one, 67, if I run, you can see function 1 takes what? 2 positional argument but 3 argument. So 2 positional arguments, that is this function should take 2 positional arguments, not more than that or not less than that. But how many are given? 3. That's why it is called what? Arguments. The actual value that is passed during the calling to the function, right? This is the value on which we are going to do some modification, do some operations. So that is called arguments. Again, I want to clarify, an argument is that value that is sent to the function whenever it is called. So in this situation, I am calling the function 1, right? And that value I am passing test and 23, right? So this is called arguments. And a parameter is the variable. Is this name, age? These are variable that is listed inside the parenthesis in the function definition. That is, you can see parameter, right? So this is called arguments, who is calling with the value, and the variable inside the function definition parenthesis, that is parameters, right? Now I will do the same again. Here I will take another one. Now 67, another one called 23. So here this one will call whom? You can see function 1 missing one required positional argument, that is now. Both are same name, that's why the conflict is happening. Make it function 2 and call it from function 2. Now run it. Test and 2367. So this is taking 3 arguments. Here you can see 3 variable parameter are there. So this is function 2 which is taking 3 parameters, and this is 2 parameter function, and here you can see arguments are also 2. So this should match, right? It should match with the same, because it will unable to identify which functions you are calling, right? Now next one is arbitrary arguments. What is that? I have one function, okay, suppose my I am calling that function with whom? Some name, test John Doe. So there are 3 arguments. Here you can see, here you will tell me, yes, there should be 3 parameters as well. Listen, for if you don't know how many arguments that will be passed into your function, you can do what? There can be many arguments, there can be many args. That's why it is called star args, because you don't know how many arguments will be passed into that function. So add a star before the parameter will receive a tuple of arguments. You can access the items easily. How? Now what is that star args? It is nothing but a name. What is that name? If you write here print args, if you print it, you can see test John Doe. They are printed, but in a tuple. In a tuple. What is a tuple? It is also a collection, right? We will learn one by one. Let's learn function today. So this test John Doe, these 3 arguments are passed here, and it's taking all the arguments. Now I want to access the John. So in array, how you access the values? Like by indexing, right? This is 0th index, this is 1th index, this is 2nd index. If you write args of 1 and if you run it, you can see John is there. This is nothing but arbitrary argument, right? Because there you don't know about how many arguments will be there. Just put star args, that's it. And also remember, it will pass a tuple, a set of tuple, and you have to access it via the indexing. Okay. Now What about keyword arguments? What is keyword arguments? I have function. Suppose first name, last name. Print first name, sorry, first name and last name. Function, I am calling home. Last name should be Doe and first name should be John. You can see, if you run it, you can see John and Doe. But without it, suppose this concept is not existing. Now if you put Doe here first and if you put John here, you will see Doe John, Doe and John, but that's not correct, and this is the name John and Doe. So you can change the order, but you have to mention the key. This last name is one key, which value is this. This first name is another one key, whose value is this. So they will map internally to each other that this value is this value is this. Internally we can call with different orders. Suppose we can order first name here, last name here, last name here, first name here. Suppose middle name, we will start with middle name, but they will internally know each other. But you have to mention the key, because this key will be identified by the function parameters, right? Suppose here is middle name and suppose last name here, first name here, and middle name. Suppose here, and suppose here middle name. Now if you run, you can see John, Care, Doe. So first name John, then Care, then Doe. But it is here, middle name here, first name here. Just change any order, no issue. First name, middle name, last name, these are the default. You can see both will be same, no issue. If you put last name at the first, and the last name, then first name, then middle name, still it will be first name, middle name, and last name. You can see, because I am calling here in the proper order, because they are already mapped with the key. Okay, so this is nothing but keyword arguments. Now we will see arbitrary keyword arguments. What is that? What is arbitrary keyword arguments? Suppose same, you don't know how many arguments should be there. Suppose you don't know how many arguments should be there, right? What it means? Suppose I will take the previous one example, right? Suppose you don't know these three arguments are there, but you don't know how many arguments will be passed here. Just put star double asterisk and then suppose make one name. Now if you run it will give error because there are no first name, middle name and last name. But if you put here suppose name of 0, name of 1 or name of 2, let's see, it's also giving the name of 0 is not key error. Yes, that's why I want this error, that's why I showed it. How you can't access it like that? Why? You will ask why. Because their key, you have to call them via key. What is that? Suppose the first name you want first name, then you want middle name, suppose then last one you want last name. If you run, let's see, John Kumar, John Kierto. So first name is one key that is mapped with that John. You have to access the John via this key first name. That's why put the first name inside the index value and you will get from that index the particular value, that is John. Same as middle name is one key. By that key you will get one what? Value. Same as last name is the key. Here is the key. Associated with this key, what is the value? 2. So John care 2. That is our final value. So this is nothing but arbitrary keyword arguments, right? So next we will see default parameter value. We will passing a list as an argument. Then we will see some return values, pass statement and positional only arguments, keyword only arguments, and combine positional only and keyword only arguments. Right? Thank you for watching.